I was gonna get into something a little bit different than Chicago. Since our last interview, our last interview, like I said before, went viral a few times. But since our last interview, JayDaYoungan was killed in his hometown. He was a dope artist, out of Louisiana, and at only 24 years old. I mean, his dad was also shot. Pretty sad situation, man.
Man, that up, but I don't know nothing about that shit, so I really can't speak on what they got going on. And even though JayDaYoungan played with Tuka and them name and you know what I'm saying, I was gonna say something crazy about him, but he did. So what's the point of even saying something about him? You feel me? And we ain't even in tour with them. They all the way out there. They asserted they self-offensive that didn't involve them. But condolences out to his family though.
I seen a picture from his funeral where they had snipers on the roof just in case anybody showed up and tried to do some shit. Did you see that?
Hell nah. That's G. I like that type of shit. Make it. Everybody felt comfortable in that bitch.
Do you feel like they need to do stuff like that in Chicago?
Nah, because people get very emotional in Chicago at funerals and shit like that, right? You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers sometimes don't be having their brains on straight when they go to funerals. A lot of people be intoxicated. A lot of people be high off other drugs where it be hard for them to really function life. And it take the slightest thing to tick them out because they already going through what they going through. So I feel like, hey, if anything, fuck the snipers. Just put the police out there, man. Let the police make sure these people do their funerals peacefully, go on about their business. You see what I'm saying? It ain't shit for a police to sit outside a funeral home 15, 20 minutes and make sure everybody leave the facility. You know what I'm saying? Safe and secure. I mean, I think that's what you're supposed to do, right? I don't know. We be having them bitches. I don't know. We are on security at the front.
Okay. Did you know Melly from 051?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Melly was.
How did you guys meet?
Me and Melly met because I had took off on a shorty from 800 that they had brought to the hood in Rockhead. It was Rockhead, I can't even think of the little nigga name from 800, but they came with, it was Rockhead, Shorty, and Smooth, and shit. Cray Cray got on that with Rockhead, cause Rockhead supposed to have said something about Tuka on the internet, on Twitter, and he ended up coming on the block, so Cray Cray ended up getting on that with him. And oh yeah, Lil Darrell, on Tuka, Lil Darrell jumped in front of Cray Cray on some Captain Sable type shit. So I took off on the little nigga from 800. And then later on that night, this is my first time meeting Melly on my daddy. But motherfuckers hear motherfuckers' names. Motherfuckers know who motherfuckers is. We know who motherfuckers is, but motherfuckers never really met. Now after I do that, and after all that shit happened, Melly ended up pulling up in the van with one of the guys, Lil O, Melly, Lil O, Fat Shouty, and somebody else. They all pull up in the van. Melly, now it's me, Cray Cray, Kyra, and Lil P, Free Lil P from EBT. I'm like, Daddy, now we all sitting on the gate. Melly jump out the van. He like, hey, Butta, check it out. Woo. Melly arm broke though. This one he had got shot in his elbow, so his arm broke and she got a cast on his arm. Hey, Butta, check it out. Woo. So I slide over there. What's up? We rotating this shit. He like, man, man, Rockhead off limits. That's when the eyes. Woo. He like, that's just like when y'all, cause oh no, that was my second conversation I had with Melly. The first conversation, I wasn't really talking. I was just down on security on Tuka for Billionaire with the guys, cause Melly and them came on our block. And Billionaire, folks, Welch real, but he gyro on my daddy. And motherfuckers was telling him, motherfucker had to tell Melly and them like, boy, that shit dead, cause pre-boy and Kiddo hot as hell. They getting there, they trying to get out on Billionaire on the block in front of all the hoes and everybody, but motherfucker had to tell him like that shit over with. Billionaire gyro, he STL. if y'all catch him on Watch World, that's that. But y'all can't do shit to him while he on our block. You feel me? On my daddy. That was the first time. So the second time, you know, motherfuckers running to him. He like, yeah, you know, motherfucker. He like, it's the same way with B now. He like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all supposed to get Rockhead that pass. Woo, woo, woo. Now, like I told him, I'm like, shit, that pass went up to me. That I'm like, Cray ain't like what he said. Cray got on his ass. Woo, woo. Then that's when he called Cray. He called Cray for EBT. Cray walk over there and shit. Now him and Cray, we all right there. Me, Cray, Kyra, we all sitting right there in the back of the van talking to Melly. On my daddy. He was cool as hell. And then when Lil Mark, you know, Lil Mark and Lil B died, probably like 24 hours apart, something like that. And me, Lil B, Kyra, Cray, Melly. There was a couple of us. We was all riding around, 4 cars. My daddy, sliding, gliding, cooler with the coolers. My daddy, that was little shit.
You know, he had a hell of a reputation, man. But I seen in an interview somewhere that, like, you know, he didn't talk, act, or dress or anything like somebody who was really about it.
He was. I mean, you can't define or do it from how they dress or act or even talk at this point, because a lot of niggas talk like that, but then when it comes down, when that pressure gets, you know what I'm saying, shit get real cold, folks. It get colder than December, and a lot of niggas be real shook on my daddy. But they got that shit, they got that gangster shit down pack, and it's always the non-gangsters who got that shit down pack, you feel me? And the niggas who really like that, you be looking at them like, he ain't not like that. Motherfucker be like, but that's the nigga who like that though. The motherfuckers who look at like, oh, he a goofy. Whole time the goofy, the real dude out the crowd. Motherfucker who you thought was the goofy. You just see what I'm saying? And sometimes the toughest looking nigga is the softest nigga in the crowd. Motherfuckers, it's all this shit a facade on my daddy. A lot of niggas live their life around facades, but Melly, shorty was a gangster. I ain't gonna take nothing from him. As long as they don't take nothing from us.
Okay.